There was a lot of information that got announced with the Switch 2, so it took me kind of a whole day to get my mind together. Here's what I think about the whole presentation. I first want to just get some misconceptions out of the way because there was just so much information that a lot of it is being mishandled, I guess. First of all, the Switch 2 physical games, it's rumored that they're $90 because of this one, I think it was German website that showed the digital game 80 euros and the physical game 90 euros. For America anyway, we haven't seen any instance of the physical game being more expensive. All the retailers are listing Mario Kart at $80, Donkey Kong at $70. So hopefully the digital and the physical stay the same price. Now, can you be upset that the game is $80? Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty upset too, but I'll go into that in a minute. Next, the physical cards just being digital game key downloads. Apparently this was a thing for the Switch 1 already. It's offered to like third-party companies, so something like Fortnite could have a physical shell, but it's really only a key to the game. The game isn't actually on there. And it will say on the box whether it's a key card or a physical game. In the Switch 2 cartridges that are actually physical games, they talked about this in the Direct and we all missed it because we saw the whole keycard issue and we freaked out. I was included in that. The Switch 2 cartridges with the actual game on them will run faster. Like they talked about them being higher speeds, writing faster, reading faster. So there are physical games on the physical cartridges. You can still use those. But if you do still want digital games, you can still do that digital transfer, let your family borrow your game kind of thing. So that's pretty cool. I'm okay with companies coming out with these key cards because, I don't know, people like little physical trophies of a game that they're playing. Maybe you really like Fortnite and you want like a physical game cartridge of Fortnite. Also, I don't know if Fortnite is coming out with their key card thing, but that's just an example I'm using. IGN posted this tweet about how expensive everything is. And like, sure, everything's expensive, obviously. But IGN was going through all the extra accessories that are available to you. They were showing the extra Joy-Con straps, the camera, the extra dock, the AC adapter that's like $30. And they were like, oh, it's gonna cost you over $1,000 to get everything. Everything's coming with the Switch 2 with the exception of the camera. The camera is extra. If you want an extra dock, yeah, it's gonna cost you a little bit. But the Switch 1 stuff works on the Switch 2. You don't need extra Switch 2 Joy-Cons. You can just use your Switch 1 Joy-Cons. You can use your Switch 1 Pro controller. You can use your Switch 1 things on the Switch 2. Yeah, sure, things are a little expensive compared to the Switch 1, but I feel like everyone's doom and gloom and blowing everything out of proportion. There are ways that you don't have to spend $1,000 on this. You can be upset about like the price of the game or maybe think the Switch 2 is a little expensive and you can still be excited for things. Like you can feel both ways. I definitely do. I'm excited for Mario Kart. Am I upset I'm gonna have to pay $80 for it? Yeah, but maybe I'll get the Switch bundle and I'll get it for $50 instead, which is way easier to swallow. Now that the misconceptions are out of the way, my pros, because there is a lot of stuff that I did like about this presentation and the Switch 2 release. I think it's really easy to get caught in the negative aspect of everything and just scroll through Twitter and see all the negativity and watch the Treehouse Live and see all the drop the price. While I agree that things are expensive, there are still good things. First of all, we have modern technology in a hybrid console. The Switch 1 was great because it was cheap, but it was also like not the best technology. Now we have HDR. You can play in 4K on the dock. You know, handheld it's 1080p. We've got up to 120 hertz refresh rate. There's so many cool things. But I was wondering, the Steam Deck, right? I feel like the Steam Deck is a good competitive, better example of what modern technology looks like in a handheld because the Switch 1 just, isn't it? I went to look at the Steam Deck prices. It's $400 for the 256 LCD, which from the outside, you're like, that's the Switch 2. But if you keep going, it doesn't do 4K. It only has a 60 hertz refresh rate. The battery life is pretty similar. Carrying case is nice. I wish the Switch came with a carrying case. So then we upgrade to the next one, which is $549, which is $100 more than the Switch 2. That's where you get the OLED screen. That's where the extra memory comes into, but you're still not able to play in 4K. It only has a 90 hertz refresh rate. But I feel like the Switch 2 does fall in between these two Steam Decks. So is $450 a lot? Maybe. People are comparing it to the price of PlayStation 5. I get it. I get from the outside, you're just like, oh, well, I can just get a PS5 for this price. And like, yeah, sure, you can. You can't take that PS5 on a plane with you. Like, you can't take that wherever you want. Things are more expensive because they're smaller, because they're fitting them into this packaged machine. But we get a better processor, where everything's reading and writing faster. In the Treehouse, they went over how the rumble is completely different. Like, they completely revamped all that. NVIDIA made the Switch a specific chip. Like, there's a lot of things going into this. And I don't even think it's the price of the Switch that people are really upset about. I know that is a thing because the Switch 1 was so affordable that you just assume the Switch 2 was going to be just as affordable, which I get. Like, I'm slightly upset too. But it is really the games where people are really angry about the price. And I could go in and like look up inflation prices of 2017 to 2025. But when you're paying for something that has always been $60 for the last 30 years, and then overnight it's like, oh, by the way, this is now $80. It is a slap in the face. Like, I get it. I do. And Nintendo definitely gets it because they didn't show us any price in the presentation. So they understand. They're probably waiting to see how people react, to see how many people purchase the Switch. Maybe we'll have a 3DS situation where they knock $50 off the price at some point. All right, another pro. Mario Kart looks awesome. All right, 24 players, open world, bunch of new game modes, bunch of characters. I watched the Treehouse presentation a little bit. I'm a little sad at how big the tracks are. I know they have to fit 24 characters on the same track, so that's probably why they're so wide. But I do kind of miss like the mushroom bouncing and like the skinny turns, and like it is a different game. But we've been playing Mario Kart for 25, 30 years. I'm good for a different game. It looks really good. Everything's really cute. There's a bunch of new gimmicks in it. I'm excited for it. On top of Mario Kart and Donkey Kong, which we're getting a 3D Donkey Kong, what the hell? There's a ton of games, even though they're not first party, a ton of like third party games at launch too. And I know it's way less first party games than we were all expecting, but the fact that I can play my Switch 1 games on here does make a difference to me. With the Switch 1, I pretty much just had Breath of the Wild and 1-2 Switch, and that's all I could use it for. But now I can just take my Switch 1 games and put them on the Switch 2. So at least I'm using my console for more than just the one first party game that's coming out. So there is stuff to play. And I know you're like, but like, I'm not interested in Elden Ring, Cora. That's fine. You don't have to be interested in some of these third-party games, but people are. There are people that will play Cyberpunk, Split Fiction, Deltarune. There's so many different things. They're hitting a variety of different games. And that is fantastic. And if you have these games on other consoles and you're like, why would I want to buy Elden Ring on the Switch when it plays so much better on the PC? Then Elden Ring's not for you on the Switch. The Elden Ring on the Switch is for the people that don't have a PC or don't have another console and they only have their Switch, or they don't have a Steam Deck and they want to take Elden Ring with them to go. The one thing I am questioning, I'm very curious about the price, is the Nintendo Switch 2 editions of these games. They did confirm that both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom will get that like extra Switch 2 edition package included in the expansion pass for Nintendo Switch Online, which is awesome. I would love for them to add more gifts for us. But I am very curious how much these expansions are going to cost. Some of them are great, like Kirby's basically getting a whole DLC. However, what I am upset about, these Nintendo Switch 2 editions, not upgrading the game you already have, but straight up buying a brand new copy of these editions, they are more expensive than the Switch 1 version. Like Breath of the Wild, $69. The original game was $60, and this is a 8-year-old game now. It's been on sale for $40 a couple times, so that kind of sucks. But if you really wanted to play, you could probably just go to eBay and find a Switch 1 copy for pretty cheap. Like Kirby and the Forgotten Land Switch 2 edition is $80 as well. It does seem like these upgrades, they're going to be like $10 to $20 updates. But again, if you really don't want to buy the Nintendo Switch 2 edition, you can just get the regular edition for the regular price. So it's not the best, but there's a workaround. And then we are getting GameCube for the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pass, which is amazing. I am very excited to see Animal Crossing, what games come to this Animal Crossing in the future, Animal Crossing. And we kind of have like a HD Wind Waker, but I really want to see Animal Crossing. So I don't know, maybe they'll keep adding, but having this at launch is pretty dope. Please add Animal Crossing. All right, now for the things that I don't like too much. I was kind of throwing these as I was talking, but $80 Mario Kart game kind of sucks. Will it include DLC? Probably not. It'll probably, if there's DLC, it'll probably be extra add-on. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. I'm saying all of this before tariffs exist, though. That might change a lot. I don't know how those work for digital downloads of games. Nintendo Switch 2 tore. This should have been packed into the Switch. We all know that. It should have been a free game. This is literally a tutorial and some tech demos that they're making us pay who knows how much for. The reason this is paid, and it's not because I agree with it, but I'm glad there is an explanation as to why Nintendo doesn't release things for free. If you read Reggie's book, he actually fought really hard, I think it was for Switch Sports, to be packed in with the Wii and to be included. He talked about how Nintendo doesn't want to give away stuff that they've worked hard on for free. You know, you have people working their butts off on this game, and yeah, from the outside it seems like a simple game, but can you make this? No, you probably can't unless you're a game dev, and then I'm not talking to you. They don't want to give away their hard work for free, which, like, when you put it that way, I'm like, okay, yeah, like if I made something like this, I mean, I can't even say that because it would be like a side project for me and I would just release it just because I'm like, oh guys, look what I did. But I get it, but I hate it, you know? Like I get why they want to charge for it, but I hate that they're charging for it. I don't know who is going to buy this thing. It better be like $5. I don't think I'd pay more than $10 for this. And I'm probably just not even gonna get it at all. I'll watch someone else play it. It's literally a tutorial for how like the Switch works, and it should be packed in, but whatever. Okay, sure. Oh, actually, that's like all I had for cons. I'm looking at my list. My other con, no Animal Crossing. Sad day. Barring getting slapped in the face for price of everything, I think this direct was pretty solid. It was definitely more partner direct, like we got a lot of third-party games for this new console, but hey, we have way more games for the Switch 2, and it's not even out yet, than like the PlayStation has. So that's a pro. The con is that there's only like 2 first-party games, which is sad. Or 3, if you count Kirby Air Ride 2. But yeah, those are, I guess, my compiled thoughts on the Switch 2. Could it have been better? Sure. But was it still good? It was still good. We have a 4K console. It's got modern technology inside of it. We're not playing with a flat potato anymore. Like this is gonna work great. I'm excited to see if Animal Crossing still lags on the Switch 2. But I'm excited for it. My job is this, so I'm definitely getting one at launch. I would be strongly considering whether or not I would get one if this wasn't my job. Let's be real, I'd be getting one anyway, honestly. I'm looking forward to how Nintendo is going to justify an $80 Mario Kart. Everything else being $70, I mean, that's just kind of like the way things are. I'm happier paying $70 for the bigger games like Donkey Kong and other games being like $30 or $40 instead than I am paying $60 for these smaller games. Like Link's Awakening, love that game. One of my favorite Zelda games. Should we have paid $60 for it? Probably not. It's like a 15-hour game. That could have been a $40 game easily. But it's not, it was $60 because Nintendo was putting all of their games at $60. So I don't even know if this is what they're doing, but if they're charging $70 for these bigger, like more work-intensive games, and I can get Kirby for $40, I'm way happier with that. Hopefully that's the case. But now I'm just rambling. I really want an Animal Crossing, so that definitely put a damper on my mood a little bit. I wasn't expecting one, but it would have been nice. I still think it was successful. I don't know. I see where people are upset. I'm curious about what happens in the future, but I think this was still a successful launch. Like, we still have a dope console coming to us. Modern technology in my pocket. Thank you. Yes, please. And I can use my 5 Switch 1 Pro controllers on this thing. Let's go. That's this week's video. Thanks for watching to the end. I feel like I rambled. I didn't script this one. I'm still rambling. This is why I script. Okay. Subscribe or Animal Crossing will never show up on the Switch 2. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, I'll see y'all next time. Bye!